Right. So they go in June because we're running a NATO exercise. So they came up with a plan. They had the cover. They got the divers in there. But then Biden said, I want to make it contingent, right? So he could do it
Right.
by remote control later, which was a little bit challenging for them, but they found a way
Well,
to
I'll
do
tell you,
that.
it's a lot more challenging than I actually wrote about because um, uh, um, for a lot of reasons. One is, of course, when you communicate to bombs that are set to be triggered by a signal sent by a sonar, it's low frequency because the water burns up high frequency. It's low and slow, and it's the way you do it. To make it really simple, when you're a kid, you probably played these games: knock, 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 knock. It's like three knocks and two little ones. So it's a pulse that triggers the sonar, reads it. The sonar goes, triggers the pulse, which triggers the bombs. And this stuff we're talking about stuff that can blow up a major goddamn high rise, big office building in New York. And it's real C4 maxed out. It's really a powerful bomb. The pipeline's covered by steel, and it's also covered by concrete because otherwise you don't want the salinity in the water. Even though Baltic's much less salty than the Atlantic, is still salty. You don't want it to eventually corrode. So it's a big project to blow it up. The problem, anyway.
And you have to hide the bombs so they're not visible by any Russians coming to inspect.
Oh yeah, you have to first. They're built underground, but anyway, some of them go underground. But basically, Russians have underwater submarines, unmanned submarines spying, and they can detect something strange. And I don't know. I do know the details. Would have taken about 3 books to get it done, and so they actually reached putting it there once to go off in 48 hours. You put a timer on it. If a miner's down there, if a diver's down there, and he sets the bomb, he's not going to set it for 10 minutes because it takes him a little while to get out of there, and it's going to blow sky high. So they have a 24-hour, 48-hour timer they put automatically. You don't have to trigger it. It's going to go in 2 days. But the White House nixed that, not knowing the complications. And then you have a big period of how long they wanted to stay underwater. 1 day, 3 days, 3 months. And so there was a lot of problems about it. I didn't write about it. They had to go to all the major laboratories that the Navy has. And by the way, when you say Navy, you're right. But I will tell you, everybody on that project from the Navy was TDY, that temporary duty. The Pentagon didn't know. Their bosses in the Pentagon did not. I'm turning off my phone. Hold on.
So the Pentagon didn't know, but
so
the CIA.
So they had to go. Actually, they went to a country called England, which seems to do a lot about underwater stuff to get help on how to fix it. They did fix it. They made it so it could go off. And then the president decides to do it in late September. By this time, if you remember last summer, it looked like Ukraine had won a great victory. They were rolling through. The Russians fell back. Well, it turned out as the fall went on, at the best you could hope for by late fall would be a stalemate that maybe you can get through the winter and do some serious negotiation. And maybe you can get Russia to back off a little bit on Crimea, not likely, but on some of the provinces that are the provinces Donbass that are in play. So when they popped it. Here's the thinking that I get. Biden decided to blow Nord Stream 2, which was controlled by Germany. The first one, Putin had already shut down the first one in anger, off the rhetoric. The second one was still there, ready to pump. It had been built, it had been constructed. He shut it down. The Germans shut it down. And the fear was Germany was getting anxious about the war. There were so many economic demands. They were also, there was also pressure from Western Europe. And there were questions being raised about what are we doing? Are we going to, there was a lot of fear that they were going to end up in a protracted war with Russia that they would not win. And so Biden's fear was that Schultz would say, "The hell with this! I got winter coming. I want the gas. I don't want my people, my companies to go dry this winter." He would do the political thing and open up the pipeline. So he took that option away from him. And let me tell you what that means. I don't do politics. Politicians call me. There's a lot of stuff going on in Germany now in the Bundestag and their parliament about this. There's a lot of concern about this decision. What he did is he told Europe, all right, since World War II, you guys are dependent on it. We had your back, really good. But in this case, we value more trying to stand up to Russians more than you. So be cold and have your industry slow down. And right now you have the biggest, as I mentioned, BASF talking to China about maybe, doing some business there, moving some things there, because they don't have the gas costs too much. The biggest corporations in the world, that is the biggest chemical company, is looking forward to a lousy next winter. Over between September and October in the fall, it was a very mild winter. They built up stocks so that winter came, they could get through this winter. They will get through it, even though prices have gone up. And I think the Bundestag, the temperature's kept at 60 degrees. A lot of people there are wearing, their ski underwear. I assume everybody in Germany skis. Why not? I would if I were there.
My name is Jim Rickards. I'm a former advisor to the CIA, Department of Defense, and the White House. In a moment, you'll have my own evidence that very few people have seen. You'll see how I believe two acts of democratic stupidity are about to combine into a storm that will change America forever: the American energy Armageddon. In fact, due to specific circumstances created by the Armageddon, it's possible you could now win big while others lose. You see, there's a universal truth. In times of crisis, money moves. During the coming energy Armageddon, most Americans will face new hardships, but not all. A few will win, and win big. You're about to see how the energy Armageddon could create a one-time opportunity to secure new substantial wealth. If you want in, keep watching. Right now, today, America is running out of gas, diesel, and oil. Our national fuel reserves are down 50% or more from where they should be. It's so urgent, major suppliers are calling it a code red emergency. We don't have the refining capacity to catch up, and we're shipping most of what we have to Europe to bail them out of Calamity Joe's Nordstream crisis. We're now facing catastrophic fuel shortages I predict will collapse our nation's energy grid. When it happens, every citizen will see firsthand the Dems' obsession with green energy is a scam. In fact, I'm going to show you my evidence that outs them as shameless hypocrites. That's not all. I predict this storm will bring about a new social order to our country. Many who are now rich will find their accounts drained, and those who are poor will turn to desperate measures to survive. I'm talking about civil unrest, a massive crime wave, and violence in our streets. Most will suffer under Biden's energy Armageddon, but not everyone. Some good Americans will win. They'll take advantage of wealth-building opportunities created by the upheaval, which I'll reveal here today, to vastly improve their personal economic situation. And that's the most important thing I want to share with you. Now, if the idea of winning while others suffer makes you uncomfortable, no problem. Then this presentation is not for you. But the way I see it, our great nation was built during times of crisis when a few smart people recognized opportunity and seized it. If you see the storm coming, if you know Calamity Joe and his ilk are steering us straight into it, and you want to not just survive, but thrive by using the crisis potentially to grow your personal wealth, then you're exactly who I want to reach today. Give me about 3 minutes of your time. I'm going to show you everything right now.
Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
This course has been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.